Welcome to the 2023 MW2 CDL Awards. My name is Jake and I will be your host for today's awards. We have 7 awards to give out: MVP, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, Player of the Year for each game mode, as well as Underrated Player of the Year. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more CDL content. Now let's not waste any more time and hop right on into our MVP nominees. First, I just want to preface that these are my awards. These are not official CDL awards, of course. This is just my awards that I want to do on my channel. But for our MVP nominees, as you can see, we have Hydra, Abizi, and Scrappy. And my MVP is Hydra. Hydra put up some incredible numbers this season, finding himself in second for overall KD, as well as second in hardpoint KD and first in SND and 9th in control. Not to mention, he led the league in Slayer rating, total kills, and untraded kills, as well as he was also 3rd in total first bloods and 2nd in total damage, as well as him and NYSL won 2 majors, the most by any team this season. Of course, you can make the argument for Abizi to win this award, but for me personally, I'm going Hydra. Then for our Rookie of the Year nominees, we have Ghosty, Beans, and Scrappy, and I'm sure, as everyone expects, it is Scrappy that is winning Rookie of the Year. Obviously, the best statistics out of any rookie in the league, as well as the best results with 1 major win out of any rookie. Overall, just an incredible season out of Scrappy. 3rd in total kills, 2nd in untraded kills, 1st in total damage, as well as he was 7th in hill time, so he's putting in that objective work as well. Just an incredible season out of the rookie, and show that he's gonna have a long and illustrious career in the CDL. Then we move on to our most improved nominees. Now I want to say this, some of these might be unexpected, especially Abizi, because we all know how good Abizi is, right? He's just always been so good. To see him on the most improved is kind of crazy. Usually you expect most improved to be people who were bad last year and did good this year, but Abizi, who is actually my winner of most improved, was good last year and amazing this year. Obviously, as you can see at the bottom, they won a major, they were the #1 seed, and he was the MVP runner-up in my eyes. But if you look at those numbers, his overall KD went up by a 0.09 from last season. His hardpoint KD went up by a 0.07. His SND KD went up by a 0.22, which is absolutely insane. We all know how good he is at SND, and he was good last year, but he was absolutely amazing in SND this season, as well as his control KD went up by a 0.05. Overall, he went up by a 0.43 when you add up like all of the KDs in total, up by a 0.43. Absolutely crazy. Like I said, Abizi was already a superstar last year, but the dude, you know, put himself in the MVP conversation this season, and his numbers were so much better compared to last year that I couldn't give it to someone like Draza or Standy, who both had amazing years this year compared to last. Then we move on to our SND Player of the Year nominees. Abizi, who I just said was great at SND, here on this list, as well as the MVP Hydra and Pred. And my SND Player of the Year is actually gonna go to Pred. Now these 3 players were pretty much inseparable when it came to SND stats. They were pretty much, all 3 of them were top 3 for like the 3 major categories, which are SND KD, first blood percentage, and kills per round. Pred coming in 2nd for 2 of those and 1st for 1 of them. But the big thing for me that I used to help separate the Pred from the other 2 guys is that Pred made up almost 33% of his team's kills in SND, while only making up 24.5% of his team's death, which was the lowest on his team. So when you look at Atlanta FaZe, Abizi was surrounded by another, 3 great players at Search and Destroy. Hydra also had good players at Search and Destroy, but Pred was by far the best SND player on his team. And like I said, I really think you could give SND to any of these 3 players, and there is no wrong answer. I just tried to make it a little different, not pick Hydra or Abizi for every category, and I gave Pred the SND Player of the Year. Then we move on to Hardpoint Player of the Year. Hydra finding himself here once again, as well as Scrappy and Celium. And my hardpoint player of the year is going to go to Hydra, the MVP, as well as the guy who had 2 major wins. His hardpoint KD was 2nd, his hardpoint kills per 10 minutes was 1st, and his damage per 10 minutes was 4th, as well as we know, 1st in Slayer rating. Just overall the best Slayer in the league this past year, and just an amazing hardpoint and respawn player all around. Then we go into Control Player of the Year nominees: Pred, Scrap, and Envoy. All of these guys had amazing years in control. Envoy, someone who I think might have been a little underrated when it came to his control numbers. If you don't know, head over to Breaking Point, check out his stats. I'm giving the control player of the year to Scrappy. I mean, the dude was just exceptional. Coming in as a rookie and being this good in control is absolutely insane. Third in KD, fifth in kills per 10 minutes, first in damage per 10 minutes. Not to mention Toronto were the best control team in the league, and he did have a major win. Just insane numbers out of Scrap. He kind of did it all, and to be as effective as he is as an AR and getting kills per 10 minutes is absolutely crazy. All the other kills per 10 minutes guys in like the top 5, top 10 are SMG players, and Scrap doing this as an AR player is just absolutely crazy. Then we get into our last award, which is the underrated player of the year. 2 NYSL players on here. First, let me just explain. I think that even though NYSL won 2 majors and everyone's kind of high on them right now, throughout the season people weren't really talking too much about them, and everyone always talks about Hydra when it comes to NYSL, rightfully so, as he is the MVP in my eyes. But Kismet and Skies both put up very underrated seasons, as well as Envoy, another underrated guy on LA Thieves. I think LAT, it's kind of hard to pick out a star from that team because all of them are stars in my eyes and have their pop-off moments. But Envoy, the kind of guy who does it all, is super impactful for that team, and obviously they were able to pick up a major win. But my underrated player of the year is going to go to Kismet. Now, Kismet is not a KD guy, right? He's not the kind of guy you're going to see dropping 1.1, 1.2s on a, consistently throughout a season. But if you look at these stats that I have here on screen, or more I should say the rankings of these stats I have here on screen, he was second in hill time and control zone captures in the league. So he was playing the objective super well for NYSL and one of the best at the league in doing so. He was 4th in total kills. Now obviously these total categories are hard to use for the best point of ranking for players, because if your team played more maps than another team, it's going to give you more opportunity to get kills, to get damage. But 4th in total kills, 4th in total damage as well. Not to mention he was 5th in untraded kills and first bloods, which is pretty crazy considering not only does he have Hydra on his team as his fellow SMG who's running around and getting tons of kills and being impactful around the map, but Kiz as an aggressive SMG was also 5th in untraded kills, which is pretty insane. As well as he was 4th in plants and 3rd in diffuses, just to also show you how much of the objective he's playing. And he was 1st in the league in SND aces. So Kismet had an extremely underrated season, obviously overshadowed by the MVP in Hydra. Being able to win 2 majors, I think just kind of shows how good and impactful Kismet is. And obviously also shout out to Skies, one of the other nominees, who also had a pretty underrated season in my eyes, who tends to be an underrated player in most years. But that is our 2023 CDL Awards, or I should say my 2023 CDL Awards. Here's a little recap for you so you can see on screen. Hydra taking home 2 awards, Scrap taking home 2 awards, Abizi getting a pretty interesting one in Most Improved, one that you definitely would not expect, and then Pred getting SND Player of the Year. Like I said, you could give that to Abizi or Hydra and you would not be wrong at all. It's such a close race if you look at the stats. And then as well, Kismet getting underrated Player of the Year, I think much deserved. Thank you all so much for watching this CDL Awards video. I did one of these last year. I had a ton of fun. Did the same format for this year. Let me know what you think. If you think it should be edited in a different way, if you think there's other awards I should do or add in for next season, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to post more CDL content. I love the CDL. It's my favorite esport. It's something I've been passionate about for over a decade at this point, since I started watching back in MW3 in 2011. So absolutely love competitive Call of Duty, and the CDL has its ups and downs, has its issues, but overall it's great to see these storylines and watch these teams play every season. And I'm excited for champs. Let me know how I can improve these videos, if there's any awards you disagree with or really do agree with, or you want to see me add in future videos. And with that being said, hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.